Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Wrestling Edition. Today, we actually have an emergency L7C Wrestling Podcast. We're actually literally recording at 12:04 a.m. on September 6, 2021. AEW's All Out literally just concluded a couple minutes ago, and it was a lot of things happened, and it was intense. It was so intense that our wrestling expert, our aficionado, Mr. Consistent Jacob Mason said, "Hey, we need an emergency podcast." I said, "I'm awake. Let's do it right after the pay-per-view." So this is our first podcast literally right after a pay-per-view. Mr. Consistent Jacob Mason, how you doing today, sir?
Dude, I'm great. I'm great. It's late or early. I'm not sure what is considered, but I'm freaking great, man. This is awesome.
Jacob, man, let's just get right into it, bro. AEW All Out that just happened in Chicago, literally just concluded, and man, let's go right into it, man. Let's go into the matches. Lead the way, brother. This is an emergency pod. We're just flying right off the script.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're just gonna talk about really like the main card stuff here. For those, I'm sure for all the listeners, y'all probably know what happened at the end. We're going to get to the end. That'll be the main meat and potatoes of this podcast, I imagine. But starting out, we had Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. It's a great match to start off the pay-per-view. Super solid match. Miro got the win. I was good with it. It was a good match. I mean, Miro basically pulled a Roman Reigns-esque type move where he bounced off the ropes like a couple times to get momentum to end up with a super kick to take out Eddie Kingston to get the win.
He's still undefeated, too. I know that much, yeah.
Dude, and Redeemer Miro is awesome. Like, I love this whole, like, we're bringing God into the wrestling ring thing. Like, I love it. I'm here for it. It's feels like very old schoolish. I like it. Very solid match, but going forward, we had Jon Moxley versus Kojima from New Japan. This was the start of the Forbidden Door entrance, you could say, from people from different companies or whatnot. But Jon Moxley versus Kojima, very super solid match. These guys just put on a really good match. I don't think there's too much really to say about it because the main excitement was at the end of the match, Jon Moxley beat Kojima, and then all of a sudden someone else's music hit. I was taking a piss when this happened. When I heard someone else's music hit, I basically ran from the bathroom so I could see the TV. And I'm looking, I'm like, wait, is it? It is. We get Minoru Suzuki from New Japan Pro Wrestling, who might be the baddest motherfucker from New Japan. To be completely honest, for those who do not know who Minoru Suzuki is, he's just a bad dude. Just a very bad dude he's in a way kind of like the Japan Jon Moxley, like likes the pain, willing to take the pain, but gives it 10 times harder than what he'll take it from. And they're going to, I mean, they basically beat the shit out of each other, slapped the hell out of each other, threw elbows. It was great. And then Suzuki ended up standing tall at the end of it, ended up putting a sleeper on Moxley, then hit him with his pile driver. And now they're going to have a match in Cincinnati this coming Wednesday, which is really cool because Jon Moxley's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I cannot wait for Wednesday for just this match alone. Like, I was pumped for this when they announced it because Wednesday's a massive day for me, with a bunch of personal stuff going on. But to end it with stakes and AEW and Minoru Suzuki, sign me up. This is going to be freaking awesome. So very excited for that. The next match We had Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander.
EMD. Britt Baker.
EMD. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I did not have much hope going into this match. The build-up was to me. I know Chris Statlander was she's been kicking ass. She's been undefeated since she came back or whatnot, but I just didn't have a ton of hope for this match. I wasn't super excited for it, but I was surprised. It was a good match. I mean, Britt Baker went over as she should have, because even me being an AEW fan and being a massive mark for them, and disclaimer, I'm a massive mark, so I'm toting up AEW right now. Like, I'll just go ahead and say it. So, like, if anyone in the comments or, you know, anyone's talking at home, like, man, this guy just really shits on WWE, but he totes up AEW. You bet your ass I do. I am an AEW mark. I don't care. Anyways, good match. Britt Baker goes over. That's that. It was solid match. I was better than I expected it would, so I was happy with it. Now, you haven't seen this match yet.
I've not.
This match, I'm throwing it out there. Both me and my wife agreed on this. This is the new match of the year, in my opinion. I think this was better than the Walter Dragunov match, which is a very, very bold statement. But the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks in a steel cage match. Holy shit. The Lucha Bros had one of the coolest entrances I've seen in a long time. They had, I don't know, AEW's version of Bad Bunny come out and wrap them out to the ring, which I had no idea who the hell it was. I'm not even going to pretend to know. I don't know. But it was good. It was entertaining. The Lucha Bros came out with these awesome headdresses. They remind me of like Rey Mysterio, like WrestleMania stuff. But Young Bucks come out. They ended up putting on an absolute clinic. The match started off a little slow, but it got really fast, really quick, and then the pace never stopped. At the one point, you had it was Matt Jackson trying to take off Penta El Zero's mask, trying to rip it off. And I'm pretty sure Penta cut. I think he gigged himself at one point because the camera was like it was showing him like his mask getting ripped off. And they go back. They end up shooting, another camera angle back on, and he is bleeding. I mean, bleeding profusely. Like, I'm like, I don't know what just happened. I might have missed something. I don't think I did. But like I said, I think he gigged himself. It is what it is. But the dude's mask was half ripped off, but it did not matter because his entire face was covered in blood, so it looked great. Same with Rey Fenix. His mask was got half ripped off. He was not bleeding though, like Penta was. This match, at the one point, the Young Bucks get out a thumbtack shoe, which goes back to their days on the indie circuits when they faced Candice LeRae and Joey Ryan, the world's cutest tag team, and they hit Candice with a shoe that was filled with thumbtacks all on the bottom. Well, they busted that out and they hit Penta, they hit Rey Fenix. At one point, they end up getting the shoe off, and the Lucha Bros hit the Young Bucks with the shoe, and everyone's ended up busted open. It was just such a it was such a good match. It was amazing. The Lucha Bros end up going over. I mean, but going into this match, like, one of the things I always complain about with pay-per-views and WWE is I always know you can always know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Going into the matches. And there's, I had no idea who was going to win, but I knew the Lucha Bros were the faces. I knew the Young Bucks were the heels, and they just burnt this entire pay-per-view to the ground. It was so freaking good. Yeah, so as soon as you can watch that, Martin, highly recommend it because I want to hear your opinions on it the next time we do a podcast.
Who followed them then? If this was your match of the year, who had the task of following them up?
Well, it was the women's battle or casino battle royal.
Okay.
21 women. Which, okay. Let's talk about a match I had zero hope for. It was this match. Because we here on the L7C podcast, we are pretty honest now about our things. Now, me saying earlier, I'm a mark for AEW. I make no qualms about how shitty the women's division is.
Yeah.
If the women's division in AEW puts on matches like they put on tonight, they will go to the moon and beyond. This battle royal or Royal Rumble, whatever the hell you're calling it. This Royal Rumble was the best women's Royal Rumble I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely beat the shit out of everybody. Everybody looked good. Everybody looked good. I mean, some of the cool things before we get to the final entrant that happened. Red Velvet threw a spear on, I think it might have been Big Swole. She hit her with a spear, and I shit you not, it was one of the most violent spears I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it reminded me of Rhino-esque gore days.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, it was violent. It was awesome. And especially seeing Red Velvet, who's got away a whopping, 100 pounds soaking wet. Like, it looked like she was 500 pounds going 500 miles an hour. Absolutely turned this girl inside out. It was so good. I mean, everybody looked good in this. I've never seen the women's division be this good. Just, I don't know how else to describe it. Everybody put everyone over. Everyone won. And then we get to the very end. We get to the Joker. And out comes Ruby Riott from WWE, now known as Ruby Soho, who's been putting up vignettes for weeks about Lost Girl or whatnot. She's been posting up and trying to find her way home, essentially, or wherever her new home. She ends up finding it. It's AEW. Holy shit. She looked fucking awesome. It ends up coming down to Ruby Riott, Nyla Rose, and Thunder Rosa. Mm-hmm. The final three. They eliminate Nia Rose, and then it's her and Thunder Rosa. Ruby Soho goes over. She wins. And you know what? She looks so happy. Like, her just debuting, her in AEW just feels right.
Okay.
I just feel like they're just going to let her be her. They're not going to force her to try and be something she's not. I'm so happy for her. It was kind of weird, though, seeing her come in, being a brand new person
mm-hmm.
and getting that push to number one contendership now. And she's going to face Britt Baker.
Yeah, I do think we'll talk about, obviously, we're getting to the other people who showed up tonight, but getting a woman signing like Ruby and instantly making her the number one contender against Baker, I feel like that does create some buzz. I mean, because they really, as again, we'll talk about some other people, they really don't sign the women all like that. And getting a woman who's known in the community and already making her number one contender, someone fresh for Dr. Britt Baker, because we were talking about that women's division, man, it was just getting lit. But now you throw Ruby in there, added some more spice, and I think there'll be some more women down the line as people's 90-day things with WWE's expiring. So I was happy to actually see Ruby and see her as a number one contender, because now is she going Omega to the moon? Is she going to be the one who finally beats Baker? Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how you book this, because I get if you want to keep Britt Baker your champion, but I also understand if you want a more common name in Ruby Riott and or now Ruby Soho.
Mm-hmm.
I understand wanting to get her push because you're going to get more name recognition. but Britt Baker is your most popular women's wrestler you have.
Yeah.
At the one point, I about freaked out, though. You will laugh at this. At the one point, they're having these people come down, and I went, holy shit. I was like, no way. It's Tessa. It was Rebel Hardy or whatever the hell her name is, the person who's with Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
The outfit she was wearing, the way she had her hair, everything looked like, I was like, is that Tessa? I'm like, no way, that's Tessa. And I'm like, oh wait, no, it literally is not Tessa.
That would have been too freaking wild.
Oh, it was it was humorous. I wish it was recorded. Oh, let's see. I'm getting updates right now. Of course, Pro Wrestling Tees. Check it tomorrow. There's all going to be
a whole bunch of T-shirts. They're all going to be sold out.
Yeah. All right. So after the Ruby Soho victory, we got Chris Jericho versus MJF. Now, the whole thing behind this match was if Jericho loses, he will no longer wrestle in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So, MJF actually does one of the best troll jobs I've seen in a long, long time. I'm not sure if you've caught this yet or not. The
countdown thing to pretend
the countdown
from
Chris Jericho when he debuted in WWE years and years and years ago. They had the countdown, and I was like, oh man, like watch, like Jericho's going to get to like his entire like career. Like that was my first thought when I seen the countdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, no, here comes MJF, which was what a wonderful, wonderful troll job by MJF. I can't be mad at it. But then a guitar starts playing, and it's the guitarist from Fozzy is just playing Judas. He ends up playing Chris Jericho down to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me and my wife were watching this, and we're going, oh shit. Like Jericho looks emotional.
So you thought it was going to be it?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Like I looked at my wife, I was like, I don't think Jericho's going over. It's like, why not? I was like, look at him. Like he looks emotional. Like he was out at the ring. Like it looked like he was going to cry at the one point. Like it just looked like like, like old Yellers, about to go out behind the woodshed type deal. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, and like the entire match, like especially the beginning, there were so many moments where it's like, oh my God, Chris, like he just looks emotional. Mm-hmm. Like this is it. Like this is the last ride of Chris Jericho, because coming up, he has a Fozzy tour coming. He also has the Jericho cruise coming up. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, if they're still somehow able to pull a cruise during this pandemic. But I was like, me and my wife were talking in the middle of this match. I'm like, oh man, you watch like Chris Jericho, he's not going to wrestle again, on AEW or not. But what Chris Jericho do is smart business. He'd be like, you want to watch me wrestle? You got to come on the Jericho cruise, and I'll wrestle on there. That's the only time you'll ever be able to watch me wrestle. That was my thoughts. I was like, oh yeah, he's not going to win. So once again, this match, absolute fucking banger, through and through. And it gets to the end where MJF is pinning Chris Jericho, and right at the 2 count, Chris Jericho throws his leg over onto the rope, and the ref doesn't see it, and she counts 3. Ring the bell, match is over. I'm like, oh shit, no way, this is how it's going to end? Like, this fucking sucks. Like, I have watched the emotional roller coaster that has been this match of these 2 wrestlers absolutely telling a fucking story, and it's going to end like this. It's like, God damn it, I hate MJF so much, which is perfect. You want to hate MJF. That's exactly what they want. And then another ref comes out, and I'm like, oh, no way. And this other ref's talking to Ref Aubrey. He's like, oh, no, he got his leg up on the 2 count. And it showed like Chris Jericho's leg is still on the rope. And she's like, it's been on there the whole time? It's like, yeah, it's been on there the whole time. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, I need to restart the match. Like, yes, you need to restart the match. They go over, tell Justin Roberts. And Justin Roberts goes, oh, the match, Chris Jericho had his leg on the rope. Therefore, this match will be restarted. MJF is, kicking shit. Like, no, this is bullshit, blah, 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 whatever. And it ends up Chris Jericho goes over at the end, when it all gets said and done. Chris Jericho ends up fucking winning. And goddamn, way to take me on an emotional fucking roller coaster and tell this awesome fucking story. And Chris Jericho's the fucking man. This guy coming down and looking like he's about to start crying. Old Yeller's like, this is the last one. And he ends up fucking winning. Like, what a goddamn, like, take notes, indie wrestlers. This is wrestling. This is how you do it.
That's how you make it believable. I mean, like you said, he came down crying, like all that. Like, he could have, like, if you're a smart wrestling fan, you could be like, man, he couldn't hold it in the back. Like, he's crying because he already knows this is it for all the reasons you said. But then you keep on going on. So good on him, man. That's what it's about. Not making it predictable.
Oh, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. And like throughout all this, I mean, there were matches where I'm like, oh yeah, this person's going to play a match where I went like this. Britt Baker's definitely going over, and she definitely went over. I never had a question that once.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, I mean, there's slight moments where I'm like, oh, I'm in partial disbelief here. Oh man. So let's talk about our next match. Now, this match, me and you talked about before on our group chat, was CM Punk versus Darby Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me and you talked. I thought this match was going to end up being the main event.
Yes, you did.
Which I understand why you would want this match as your main event. Because CM Punk. He's coming back. He's wrestling. That's a main event. That's something that's bigger than the championship this one time. Mm-hmm. But you can never, ever put anything after your main event, your main champion. You cannot do that. And God bless AEW for sticking to old school fucking wrestling. Mm-hmm. And making sure nothing went on after the fucking main event, your main champion. That was awesome. So I was happy. I was so happy. So we get Punk versus Darby Allen.
How did he look? How did you feel Punk looked in his first match in 7 years?
Well, the one thing that really kind of I went, oh shit. He wasn't wearing trunks. He was wearing pants. I
saw that, yeah.
Which was, we're so used to seeing him in trunks that, hey, he was in pants. It worked for him. All in all, the match, it was slow. It was slow. You could tell, Darby Allen carried, the majority of this match. Punk was telling him what to do, though. He's like, hey, do this. Hey, do that type deal. I thought he looked fine. Did I think he looked 100%? Absolutely not. But I didn't expect him to look 100%. I didn't expect him to look like the Punk of old when you haven't wrestled for 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
In front of a sold-out crowd.
In
just
Chicago.
Doing nothing but chanting your name, You can't. I don't care how. No one can be that good.
Right.
So, all in all, I thought it was good. I thought it was just a good match. Punk went over, but more importantly, Punk might have won the match, but both people went over. Everyone looked strong. Everybody looked good. Punk said, I'm here to help you, and you're the first person on my list. And damn it, he helped him. Mm-hmm. And he looked good doing it. I mean, there's a couple coffin drops in there that Darby threw in. I was like, oh shit. Darby might pull this out, because the moments where Darby was just being Darby, just fast as fuck, just throwing his body to the wind it's nothing what Darby does. I mean, yeah, there's moments I'm like, shit, could Darby go over? It's possible. I don't know. But no, Punk goes over, everyone wins. Everybody looks good. Can't complain there.
Gotcha.
So then our following match I forgot this was even going to be a match, to be completely honest.
Big shows?
Yeah, we have Paul White versus QT Marshall. And when they put this match in there, I was like, this is actually kind of a smart move by AEW. Because you cannot have 3 absolute bangers, one right after the other, because the crowd will be dead.
Yep.
They'll be dead by the time the main event's music hits. So you put in Paul White and QT Marshall. Everybody go take a piss. Go refill your beer. Go do what you got to do. Because no one really, I don't think anyone cares about watching Paul White. I like the Big Show. Always been a fan of the Big Show. I don't care to watch him wrestle anymore. This was kind of perfect for him. This was a nice 4 or 5 minute match, where basically Paul White did Paul White things.
Yep. It was a bang bang. I only had it down for 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
All right, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Perfect. Great. He got in all his shit. That's it. He did the thing in the corner where, he pulled his shirt down and went shh, and it slapped him right in the chest. He does and I'll say this much: Big Show can still do the world's safest choke slam that's ever been done. I mean, my God, if I'm going to take a choke slam from a professional wrestler, I want it to be from Big Show, because he choke slammed QT Marshall, but he just so gingerly picked him up and had his hand below his ass, so he's just cradling him, and then just so put him down where it looked good, but he did it so safe. I was like, God, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Look at this gentle giant over here. Paul White goes over, everyone's happy, whatever. No one cares, but feel good moment.
Main event. Main event.
Yeah, main event. So we got Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage.
Your
Mr.
guy.
Yeah, the charisma black hole. I mean, yeah. I thought the build up to this sucked. I mean, I get what they were trying to do. And maybe it's just because I just don't like Christian. There's a good chance that's a possibility, because they had Christian go over on Kenny to win the Impact Championship, which I think was just to kind of help push this match more. Oh, he's beat Kenny before, he can do it again. Yeah, but it's Christian. I don't give a shit about Christian. That's it. So I had no real hopes going into this match. But it kind of worked out in my favor, because my hopes were so low that I was actually, I enjoyed the match. Kenny Omega did work. Even Christian did work. They had a really sweet table spot. It was a solid match. It wasn't their best match I've ever seen. Just a nice, solid match. It wasn't bad. None of these matches were bad. That's the one great thing about this pay-per-view. There was not one match I can look back and be I don't know. It was all good. Nothing was bad. It felt like an old school NXT pay-per-view. When they were just great quality matches. So Kenny Omega goes over on Christian Cage with a super one-winged angel. It's cool. Great, whatever. Let's talk about after the match, though. Let's do it. Holy fuck.
Let's do it.
So Kenny Omega, or the entire elite, comes down. You have the Good Brothers, you have Young Bucks, you have Don Callis in the ring, and they start to beat down Christian Cage, and then out comes Jurassic Express, and then they get their ass beat by the elite. And which, by the way, meantime, you saw the Young Bucks selling their injuries from their epic match from earlier. So shout out to the Young Bucks for good wrestling and shit. But we get Kenny Omega hops on the mic and he goes, "No one can beat me. The people that can beat me aren't here, or they're dead, or they're retired. No one can beat me." And the lights go black. Now, everyone's thinking oh shit, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It's Daniel Bryan. Oh my God. The lights went out. What's about to happen? And then this music hits, and you're like, what the hell music is this? This isn't something I know.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, lights come on. Adam fucking Cole, BayBay. Adam Cole shows up. Adam Cole is All Elite. I lose my shit. I absolutely lose my shit. Adam Cole, who we thought would not show up anywhere till the Rumble.
No, we did it. The dude just finished his WWE thing just this past week. He had a damn signing with Johnny Gargano on Thursday, and his contract expired on that Friday. And then everyone's like, hey, where's he going? Where's he going? And yeah, we didn't expect him to show up to the Rumble, but let alone this Sunday. Well, this Sunday they just had freaking All Out. That was super unexpected. And for him to just be done with WWE, then right to AEW within a week's time, that is wild, bro. That is wild timing. It makes you kind of think if there was talks like already ahead of time, you would have to think there were talks ahead of time. And I do want to shout out to Adam Cole then, if the talks were ahead of time, because he was a pro's pro. Like he finished his WWE stuff, didn't half-ass anything, and then shook their head. Thanks for everything you did for me, and was on AEW. Just like that.
Yep. And if the rumors are true, fuck you, AEW. I'm not losing my Twitch stream.
You mean fuck you, WWE? I'm not losing. You said AEW.
Yeah. That's what I meant. WWE. Fuck you, Vince. If I don't get my Twitch, you don't get me.
That's the thing I was going to, well, we can talk about it now before we bring about the other people. But I was going to say at the end too, like, this is something that they're going to have to look at. Because is it really worse losing one of the best wrestlers on the planet over the goddamn third-party ban? And I already know, guys, I know the L7C, we've covered that thing probably more and extensively, probably than maybe anyone out there. So definitely look at our past episodes about that, because we can't go into full context of it now because it's too much. But they got to relook at that thing, bro, just to make it short. They got to relook at it because you lost, if it's true, you lost Adam Cole because of a Twitch stream.
Yep.
That's unheard. He was not supposed to be here. You were supposed to re-sign him for that $1 million, and he was supposed to debut on SmackDown like the other rumors. And it was because you didn't want him to do his Twitch stream, that because of the third-party ban that you lost him. That's bad. That's not even bad. That's not even bad from a wrestling thing. That is bad from a business sense. You're losing one of your best workers in a company because of one measly thing that the people who messed it up for everybody aren't even with the company anymore or don't even do anything. So that's just bad business, not even wrestling business. That's just bad business. But keep going, man. I got more to talk about with them later, but keep going.
So Adam Cole comes out, and I had that split second thought. It hit me more later, I think, after. Although all this has happened pretty damn quickly between pay-per-view and podcast. But we've had so many WWE releases, I almost forgot that Adam Cole naturally just finished out his contract. Therefore, he doesn't have a no-compete clause.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why that didn't hit me before when we talked about Adam Cole's contract negotiations and stuff. Like, fuck waiting till the Rumble. Let's do it now. Like, you always forget about it because there's so much other shit happening. But Adam Cole comes down, and he ends up hugging Kenny Omega. It ends up getting kissed on the cheek by the Young Bucks, which is absolutely fucking great. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is one of the best things I've seen, because the Young Bucks killed Adam Cole in Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. Because Adam Cole tried killing the Young Bucks. It was great. But anyway, so they end up doing the kiss, which is great because that's how that friendship ended in wrestling. And now that's how that friendship re-begins in wrestling. God bless it. I fucking love it. Like, there were so many throwbacks this night. Okay, great. Kenny side note. Adam Cole throwing up his hands and doing the Adam Cole BayBay in front of the sold out crowd, and the crowd, absolutely just screamed it at the top of their lungs. Fucking mint. It was fucking mint. So, okay. Kenny gets on the mic. He goes, "Oh, we've been best friends all along. Blah, 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 blah. We're great. We're best buddies, whatever." Adam Cole gets on the mic, says, who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, which was a whole thing he used to do on the indies. Hell yeah. Let's go. Can't wait. Adam Cole super kicks Jungle Boy. That happened before all that. Then, Kenny Omega, we're best friends, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold, new music hits. Mm-hmm. And it's the Ride of the Valkyries. And for those who do not know what that song is, you do know it by another song. Daniel Bryan's theme song hits.
Yep.
And that goes like, some remix version of it. But it starts out Daniel Bryan's theme song. Mm-hmm. And holy shit, insert Daniel Bryan into the talks. Out comes Daniel Bryan. Father Francis, Bryan Danielson is now All Elite. Let's fucking go. They come out, them Jurassic Express, clear the fucking ring, take everyone out. Daniel Bryan hits a running knee on one of the Young Bucks. Is fucking awesome. I'm super hype on this still. Like, this was freaking awesome. Yeah. So, quick recap. We've had Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, all in the same wrestling company, all on the same card. And that's not including Jon Moxley, the Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros, the Good Brothers. You literally have an absolute fucking all-star team that is now All Elite. Holy fuck. This company can do anything they want at this point.
So, my biggest thing, what I always say about the signings, especially with these, because I was not expecting Adam Cole this soon, but I was expecting Daniel. This one, I really was not expecting Adam. But with these signings, too, these are big freaking names. And obviously, it's just, the simple wrestling thing, like, dang, someone's back to catering now, because ain't no way everyone's going to be all, because you got to make time for Adam and Daniel on the 2-hour slot of Wednesday nights. But no, this is huge, man. When I did see the returns on Twitter. I actually watched those videos before we did this emergency pod. I was like, shit, this is real. And AEW, because I guess I'm thinking of it for a bit, they're smart. They're so smart with the Adam and Daniel thing, because obviously, just if you're doing against your competitors, WWE just lost all their buzz because their biggest star is gone again. Like, he's back to doing his movies and all of that stuff. So, like, if you look at that, because all of WWE's summer stuff was all based on John Cena.
Right.
Like, Summer of Cena, like, he's gone now. So then he's just like, oh, well, Cena's gone. And now he's doing his movie stuff, and his other movie, whatever, is doing really well. But it's like, he's gone. WWE's going back to this little, we're going to take over. They might have had Summer of Cena, and we threw Punk in there. But now we're going to have fall and winter. So winter
is coming.
We're just going to take September to January, because no one expected Adam. No one expected Daniel. And I think right now, as long as he keeps, I think CM Punk right now is the biggest star in professional wrestling. Who's in the wrestling ring now that John is gone? I think he's the biggest star in wrestling. So if you have the biggest star, you have Daniel Bryan, we all know he's a great wrestler. Plus, he's a household name due to his championships and all the places and who he's married to. You have Adam Cole, who his girlfriend, because they're not engaged, right?
No, but I have a feeling I'll probably be coming soon. You watch it end up happening on AEW.
So you just name if you just name the people, the Champ, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan. You give me those four, you put them against whoever the hell you think WWE's 4 best males are, and AEW's 4 best males, smoke them
all day.
And like you just said, we're not even naming Jericho, Moxley, Black, Young Bucks,
Cody.
Shit, I forget Cody wrestles, bro. Cody. Like, this men's roster is freaking stacked.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
And this is probably one of the best men's rosters. I know as wrestling fans, we get tired of making comparison to this time period, but it's probably one of the best male rosters since the Attitude Era.
Hands down.
From top to bottom. From singles, tag teams. Shit, we didn't name Miro. Like this roster,
here's something else. Like, me and my wife, we were kind of like chit-chatting about this when I was writing some shit down for the emergency podcast here. Like, AEW, like, they're even building stars.
Yeah.
What they have done with Jungle Boy and Darby Allen.
2
absolute fucking no-name guys, essentially. I look at those guys and they have been built so freaking well. You know, even like being from the indies, like, I really didn't even know who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're for their household, at least in this house, you know, their names here, you know, they're building stars. And then you look at WWE, who's taking someone like Karrion Kross and making them look like the generic version of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, you're not building stars.
Mm-hmm.
People, you know, you're relying essentially at this point on part-timers and Roman Reigns. That's what you're doing. You're not even building stars.
And
you're
Charlotte.
Not getting new stuff. Oh yeah, Charlotte.
And
Fuck
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
No, man. It's wild because I'm really starting to think, like, if I put four the top people, I mean, Roman's obviously there, but then, like,
you got to have Roman and Seth.
That's 2. And I mean, Bobby, Randy. It's like that men's roster it's not the same compared to AEW's and AEW's. And it's the fact that AEW is getting, some of them are getting built off the people WWE released. And it's crazy too that Daniel and Adam and Punk will get all the headlines, and rightfully so. But for me personally, I think Ruby showing up was one of my biggest things, just because it's another top woman. Like, I love that.
Which they need. They need more than they need. They need more women's wrestlers than they need, you know, men's wrestlers. But fuck it. Keep building that. Keep building the roster. Fuck it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, keep doing it. And like, I don't know, man. This is just wild. Like, I'm just looking at a whole bunch of people who are former world champs, and Adam Cole. I mean, think about Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly's the only one left, I think.
No, you still have Roderick Strong there.
Roderick Strong's there. Bobby Fish and Adam are gone.
Yeah.
So that's 2 out of the 4.
Roderick Strong is, I don't know, this fucking generic ass Undisputed Era is stupid that he's doing, so whatever.
Yeah, and and Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan are big enough that other news outlets besides like our wrestling ones are talking about them. Like ESPN, the news will talk about it in the morning. Like Sports Illustrated, like they'll get good. I mean, CM Punk was on Sports Center just this week talking about how there was never really a chance for WWE, and he talked about some talks, it just wasn't going to work, or like how he was, if he felt like he went there, he was going to die. And like, even if I know Punk from Punk is Punk, but if someone's saying that about your company, man, you got to look yourselves in the mirror. Like, what the hell are you doing? How do you let CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Adam Cole go to AEW? Ow!
Now, yeah, because Punk said earlier, or in a interview, pre-post all this stuff, that WWE was playing games.
Yeah,
that was the thing, because they offered him a contract, or they wanted to talk to him. Apparently, this was years ago, and I believe Punk in this 100%. I based that on absolutely nothing, by the way.
Do you remember the year he said? Because I could probably, if I knew the year, I could probably figure out what the hell is going on.
From what I read, he just said a few years ago. So, but that being said, he told him, like, just don't play games. He goes, and right after rip, they started playing games with me. So fuck them. I ain't doing it. He stays home, keep his ball. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how you screw the pooch this bad.
Especially Daniel Bryan, you made his fucking wife famous.
Yeah.
Like, what the they were talking about they were going to come back and try and win the women's tag team titles. Now your husband's over there at AEW, even though they might not be the greatest wrestlers. God forbid the Bellas are like, you know what? We want to go help our husband and brother-in-law and show up on AEW. Imagine the fuck. Now you want to talk about the national news talking? God, they would be yapping it up if the Bellas showed up.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, fuck, I mean, as much as I don't want to see him there, fuck it, bring it on. Fuck it, who cares? They're going to bring such a name, I'm in for it. I just want everybody to watch AEW right now because this is honestly the best wrestling right now in the fucking world. Nothing is better than AEW right now. I want everybody to watch this. I want everyone to enjoy this. God bless AEW right now because NXT has been, we don't know what the hell is about to happen with NXT.
We don't. I already don't like that new logo sucks.
Oh shit. Everyone's saying like, oh, Vince McMahon's taking over this, him and Bruce Pritchard, and holy shit, they are certainly taking over that already just by the logo. You can tell. I mean, I don't know. And then that WWE's fucking up catering.
Yeah, those were. And from a business side, I'm reading the stuff from like USA and Fox. They're getting pissed that WWE's letting these people go, and like they're getting signed. They're like, "What do you mean so and so's gone?" And like that's affecting our ratings too, dude. Like, what are y'all doing?
Right now, I mean, I was a little hype in the moment. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little excited when Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole and everything, and then AEW went off air.
Oh, they have Sting and Big Show too. Forgot.
yeah.
I mean, they're at the bottom, but I forgot.
Yeah, and then you have another person they've built like nobody else, MJF.
What
a fucking stud. But anyways, I literally like looked at my wife like, I literally think AEW right now could go to Mondays, be on a 3-hour time slot with WWE Raw and absolutely smoke them in the ratings.
They would. Even without everyone else, they have CM Punk.
You got Punk. You got Punk. You got Bryan. You got everybody. You can absolutely smoke show the competition right now.
Jericho said just give it time that their Wednesday night ratings will start beating Monday Night Raw's ones.
100%. I believe it. But at the rate they're going, they're literally, quote unquote, they're going all out on All Elite Wrestling. And I am here for this fucking journey and I love it.
Yeah, man, this is just the names recently. Like you were able to pull off the impossible. You got CM Punk back first time in 7 years. You were able to get Daniel Bryan back, which I guess when his contract expired, they didn't renew it or whatever. And you were able to get Adam Cole when his contract expired. I mean, Shizuki, can't forget him. They got him today.
Yeah, I mean, they'll only have him, for a match or two.
Yeah, but still showed up today.
Keeping the forbidden door open.
Mm-hmm. Ruby, which is my favorite one. And it's like, this is just today. I'm thinking about Full Gear in November, or not even before that, Halloween, where we're expecting, that's where we think Bray's going to show up.
Yeah.
You have non-compete clauses with the icon. I was going to say the Bellas, but the Iconics one just ended. They already announced a tour. They said coming soon. They might be coming on here. You got, gosh, which would we got CJ Perry, whose one just ended, aka Lana. She could be showing up here. You got Braun Strowman. We haven't seen where he's officially. I did see he has a wrestling match coming up though. Braun does, if I do remember. But hell, he could show up. Like, there's been so many people that have been released by WWE that's so top talent that they can show up on AEW. Like, this roster is ridiculous.
And at the same time, they don't even have to show up at AEW. Let's be fucking real. They could gladly show up on Impact Wrestling, and because the Forbidden Door is open, you will still see them wrestle on AEW.
It's true. This is wild. And again, the Cons are all rich. They got football season coming too, so they're gonna get their money from Jaguar games, and they're able now. They answered what I was asking 6 months ago about could they afford all these people if this shit happened, and they've proven me wrong. They can afford all these people if this shit happens. And I do want to say with like Punk and Cole and Daniel, Kenny, Chris, I don't see them doing this for like another 10 years. Like, I think in 10 years' time, MJF's going to be the face of AEW.
Yeah, for sure. Between him, Darby, and Jungle Boy, they're going to be the faces of that company. But in the meantime, you're not going to see Daniel Bryan wrestling full time.
No.
You'll see Daniel Bryan do, I'm going to do a build up here. I'm going to do a build up here. I'm going to do a build up here. But here is going to be AEW. Here's going to be New Japan. Here's going to be Impact. Here's going to be whatever the fuck I want to do.
Is Adam Cole going to wrestle full time though? Because he was wrestling full time just last week.
Adam Cole wrestle full time. I have no doubt about that. The one thing I would love to see, and this is just me going like, hey, Forbidden Door, where is this at right now? Somehow if we can get Adam Cole involved in some Ring of Honor stuff or bring some Ring of Honor guys into AEW with the whole Adam Cole thing, because Adam Cole and Ring of Honor just goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Mm-hmm. It's just perfect. Especially with Matt Taven and all those guys. I'm definitely here for it. But yeah, dude, possibilities are endless right now. And then on top of all that, we're dealing with in my opinion, the pay-per-view of the year, hands down.
I don't see any disagree with, even if you didn't even watch it, just the people who showed up is already like it already beats what, even though SummerSlam wasn't even good at all, it beats Brock and Becky coming back by tenfold. So, and even the matches were good too. And I was just thinking from a match perspective about the NXT one, but you had good matches, potential match of the year candidate, which I'm going to try and watch definitely this week. And a match of the year candidate, good matches all around, and surprise appearances. Nah, I agree with you that this currently on September 6th is the pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah. But then on top of all this craziness that happened, fucking New Japan's coming out of nowhere and announcing the A and B blocks of the G1 climax.
G1.
Fuck. I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about that. It was probably about a year ago. We gotta start firing up, talk about New Japan again.
That's true.
Fuck, let's go. Dude, the wrestling world is a buzz right now. It is so good. God bless it.
It is. It is really good. It's actually a really good spot to be a wrestling fan because you have all the different options. And I mean, hopefully, I know all the old heads like Stone Cold. I'm like, hopefully this should light a fire in WWE's ass, because I know there are people who they're watching, obviously, fellow wrestlers, all that's like, man, I got to get better than this person because, competition. So hopefully they're like, man, how could we compete with this? Because their next pay-per-view is actually a couple weeks in Columbus, Ohio. But it's like, that's not going to compete with this. And they're not going to have anything big until Survivor Series, which, I mean, the only thing they're writing on that is Rock's 25th, which he needs to be there for them to make the real. I mean, if Rock's there, then that's going to take over every headway on every news station. But it's wild, man. They really got to look at this pay-per-view and be like, you had half this roster on your roster. Like, if I'm a board of director person, I'm looking at Vince and Bruce Pritchard and Dunboy and like, how did you let this happen? Like, if
Dude,
why were you playing?
Stockholder?
Yeah.
You need to talk to him.
Well, I honestly do, for like podcast purposes, trying to ask questions, but they have the screening thing, and my shit gets shot down. So, so I can't even lie to you about that. So, I mean, bigger people than me are getting mad. Fox and USA are getting hot with WWE's releasing and all that stuff. So, I don't know, man. I feel like this is bad. I mean, because even if you only watch wrestling for the men, why would you watch WWE? There's no really top, not right now. I mean, it's the Roman thing. Like,
yeah,
you see the lower stuff and like you have fun stuff, but it's not. It's the Roman thing. AEW has all these people. I don't know who the hell is about to be the next number one contender to Kenny. Like, shit, you could have just. You would think it'd be a dream. Like, oh, let's have a fatal four way with Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, CM Punk, and Kenny Omega. Oh, yeah, that's some fantasy booking. No, AEW can really do fantasy booking in real life if they wanted to. That is the wildest shit. Instead of doing Roman Reigns beat Dolph Ziggler for the umpteenth time. Like, what are we doing? This is wild.
Well, fuck it. I said this on our messenger the other day. I want to throw out my bold prediction now for future AEW stuff, and I'm basing that on earlier this week's shit, not after tonight's shit, because who the fuck knows. But I'm still throwing it out there. I still think you have Hangman Adam Page takes it from Kenny
That's
Omega.
Right. You said that.
And then I think it's going to be MJF who's going to take it from Adam Page. And I think you're going to have Punk take it from MJF. I have no idea what's going to happen after that. I don't know.
Well,
because when Hangman Adam Page comes back, like, business will be a booming. They are going to be in Virginia here in a few weeks, so he'll be back for that. I mean, they keep advertising him. So let's go. Let's fucking go. God bless the wrestling world. This is nuts. It's awesome, though.
And again, they did it again when Punk came back. Made that Wednesday must-see to see what he had to say. Now this Wednesday, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, Ruby, must-see.
And Suzuki.
And
Suzuki versus Moxley in Cincy. Fuck, let's go. God damn.
Must see. Shoot, I mean, I wish I had some days off. I would have loved to see that live.
We kind of talked about it because my last day of work is Wednesday. And I'm like, well, by the time I get off, I don't know. We might miss a couple matches, but we could get down there. I'm like, I don't want to go to Cincy.
Hey, you can get down there and then potentially shout out to the DB expert. You could go spend the night at Mitch's. We wouldn't have to get a hotel or anything.
Yeah, but then he's going to make me like babysit his kid and shit. I'm just like that.
Jacob, anything else, man? Because I'm really interested to see what WWE's retort to this is going to be.
Dude, I got nothing. I mean, thanks for coming. I'm never like, hey, let's do an emergency fucking podcast and let's something like this. This is insanity. So thanks for, hey, we need an emergency podcast. You're like, fuck it, let's do it now. Like, sweet, let's do it now. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Like, you're the real Mr. Consistent. I'm just the every other week guy. Hey, you're the fucking like doing like 37 podcasts a week type shit.
It was a big deal. I mean, it was. I mean, once Adam Cole was like, shit, and I was already in my brain. I was like, damn, we're gonna have to do this either Monday and the latest. And then when Daniel Bryan came, he said emergency. I was like, yeah, we just need to do it now. We need to do it just right now.
There's something else I forgot to say. I had it because I was like, because he finished the match early and they had like some time. I looked, I'm like, well, this ends at midnight. I'm like, they got like 20 minutes to kill here. I'm like, something's got to happen. I literally had typed up in the group chat, Bryan Danielson, like a shitload of exclamation points. And then when Adam Cole came, I'm like, oh shit. And delete that, insert Adam Cole. Which honestly felt even like it was such a big surprise.
It's wild.
God, I loved it, dude. It was
it's wild. All I gotta say with this is yes, I agree. It is the pay-per-view. of the year, hands down, from a match perspective, from a star power perspective, from a surprise perspective. I don't see anything topping this year at all. Even from a location thing perspective too, because it was in Chicago. I will have to watch that match of the year candidate because I was unable to watch it, so I am going to try and find that and watch that match. But yeah, man, this was wild. I didn't expect Adam Cole to be here. I really didn't. And he's here. Bryan Danielson's here. We said that last month he'd be here. Shout out to Ruby, Suzuki. Like, this is wild, man. AEW, just want to tip my hat to y'all. WWE, and I guess that's just WWE because everyone else is all forbidden doors open. I got to respond with something, man. And no, a not proper response is not Goldberg for the 20th time. That is not a proper response. I honestly, jokingly, I wonder if someone woke up Vince when he's sleeping in his silk pajamas, told him what happened, and he's on like his secret underground basement room with a video conferencing directly linked to Dwayne's house. It's like, hey, can I get you on TV sooner, please? Or what? Or when do you think the next? You know how WWE answers back. When's the next Legends Night on Raw? when they call Hogan and
get me Sergeant Slaughter, damn it.
That's gonna get the ratings. And I mean, Raw's got it. They got to put some shit out because I mean, they will. Summer's over, and now AEW's doing this, and now they got Monday Night Football coming up soon. So,
do you think WWE just takes the L and just kind of sits back until SummerSlam? It just kind of rests on their morals right now.
Oh, you mean like till next? You mean from this past SummerSlam and be like, oh, we're done for the year?
Like, do they just basically just kind of like coast it out until SummerSlam?
Yeah. Well, I think Survivor Series 8 will have things planned. I know this Friday they're in Madison Square Garden and Lesnar's supposed to be there, so whatever. But I mean, I don't know how that's gonna go, but I think they're definitely gonna coast till November. And then they'll coast until January. Then obviously WrestleMania and all that stuff. But they got to figure something out. They got to do something. Like, I don't know. They got to call their full-time people, whoever's on vacation, and write some better stuff. They got people. I mean, but they got to figure that out, bro. They really do.
Yeah, it's not the people. It's the writers.
Yeah, it's the writers. They might do a knee-jerk reaction and do Demon Balor versus Roman on a SmackDown randomly, and Roman win, and then think that was a great thing. Like, oh, we got some shock because Demon Balor lost. That's WWE logic, and it would fail for them. But no, man, I appreciate you doing the emergency pod. I mean, it had to be done. AEW, good stuff on you guys. Definitely going to be following these next couple of weeks how people respond and how AEW builds from this. Look out for some more signings from AEW. I think there's going to be some more in the coming weeks with 90 days being done with WWE. And WWE, guys, you lost people because of a Twitch. Put that in perspective. You lost millions of dollars in Adam Cole because of a Twitch account. That's bad business. Bad business. And with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. You guys take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.